you see that? What do you think it is? Here, let me turn on a light. Oh, it's an anglerfish. Anglerfish also use bioluminescence. That's the light that we saw. They have this long part of their body that kind of looks like a fishing pole with a bright light at the end. This is how they attract their prey so they can survive in the midnight zone. On Earth, there are about 3 trillion trees. That's about 422 per person. And just like people, trees have different parts of them that all work together to make them beautiful and tremendous. So let's start at the bottom. At the base of a tree are its roots. This is what keeps it grounded, nice and sturdy so that the tree doesn't sway and move around. But the roots do so much more than that. They also soak up water and nutrients from the ground and get it started on its way up. The roots are actually only about 2 to 3 feet deep, and they extend out from the tree. Now there's a fungus that lives with the roots and helps the tree communicate with other trees. It's like calling up your bestie and saying, "What's up?" And everything the tree pulls up gets pushed up through the trunk, up to the branches, and to the leaves, where it uses photosynthesis to make its own food.
Hey there, caterpillar, crawling on the leaf, eating lots of dinner, growing big and strong so you can be something very different than you were before. Take your time in your space, pretty soon you'll get to soar. Look at that butterfly, every time I gotta stop and see. Look at that butterfly, go ahead and spread your wings. Oh, good morning. Hey there, butterfly, flying from the trees, wings so bright, spots and stripes, every kind is so unique. You've had real big changes, it's quite marvelous, seeing you all grown up after metamorphosis. Look at that butterfly, every time I gotta stop and see. Look at that butterfly, go ahead and spread your wings. Look at that butterfly, every time I gotta stop and see. Look at that butterfly, go ahead and spread your wings.
Know that Antarctica is considered a desert too? Antarctica is a continent that's located at the bottom of the world. They call it the polar desert because it gets very little rain or snow, and it has freezing temperatures all year long. It looks a lot different than other deserts you might think about. And in some parts of Antarctica, there is so much ice that's all you can see for miles and miles and miles. Let's take a look at what you would have to wear if you were going to Antarctica.
You've been chosen to go to Antarctica! Looks like you're a little bit cold, though. May I suggest a puffy red jacket? Ah, much better. You might find yourself walking on a lot of ice, so you want a pair of thick, heavy boots. Pair them with some wool socks and your feet won't even notice the cold. And we can't forget our hands, of course. Mittens or gloves will do the trick. Finish off with your furry hood and now you look like the coolest Antarctica explorer.
Even though it's freezing down there, there are lots of animals that call Antarctica home. There are penguins, like the emperor penguin and Adelie penguin, and lots of others that are waddling around. There are different species of whales, like the blue whale, the killer whale, the humpback whale that are splashing around in those icy waters. And there's also whatever that is. Let's see what our Antarctica cam picked up. That sounds familiar. Can you guess what animal that is? It has a thick layer of blubber and fur that helps it stay warm. This animal can be found on the shore, but spends most of its life in the water. Do you know what it is? Let's focus our footage a bit here. It's a seal! Alexander, we have so many questions about lizards. Can you help us answer them today?
Yeah, I know a lot about them.
Awesome, and it looks like you have an actual lizard here. So who is this?
This is Orangey.
And what kind of lizard is she?
She's a leopard gecko.
Whoa, hey Orangey! What do you feed Orangey?
She used to eat mealworms, but she got bored with them. But now we feed her crickets. All lizards eat certain kinds of bugs. They don't eat like everything like Orangey does. Some eat meat, some eat ants, some eat eggs.
So different lizards eat different things.
Yes.
It depends on the lizard. What about hamburgers and french fries?
No.
No?
She doesn't eat human food.
Do you think that you could live off of a lizard's diet?
No.
I noticed that the back of her tail is a little thicker than the rest of her body. Why is that?
It's because she stores all her fat in the tail from her food.
Oh, I see. Leopard geckos are only one type of lizard, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different types.
Yeah.
What other kinds of lizards are there?
There's Komodo dragons, monitor lizards, fro dragon lizards, and chameleons.
Oh, are chameleons the ones that change color?
Yeah, but they only change color to around their environment.
Is it true that some lizards can lose their tail?
Yes.
And what happens if they lose their tail?
They regrow. Other predators, they bite their tail, but then to escape, it comes off, and then they get away.
What's your favorite kind of lizard?
All.
All of them. Welcome to the sunlight zone. Can you guess why it's called the sunlight zone? That's right. Since this zone is closest to the surface, it gets a lot of sun. And thanks to that sunshine, there are plants like seaweed that can grow here. You might also notice some other familiar animals like sea turtles, stingrays, and sharks. And if you've been to the beach lately, you were definitely swimming in the sunlight zone. Now you might notice that in the wintertime, some trees stay green. These are evergreen trees, while other ones have their leaves turn from green to yellow, orange, red, until they finally fall off. Those are called deciduous trees, the ones that lose their leaves every wintertime. Wintertime, Antarctica is dark 24 hours a day, which means that it gets even colder and only a small group of people stay there for the whole winter. They get to see these beautiful light shows in the sky called Aurora Australis, or the Southern Lights. The next few days will be bright and sunny with scorching hot temperatures, so make sure you find some shade and stay hydrated. After that, we are expecting winds blowing in from the east. And finally, at the end of the week, there will be a few days where we're expecting rain. So grab an umbrella and your rain boots to have fun in the rain. Now, back to you. For the sun! Another fish that you can see down here is called the blobfish. I know, the name's kind of silly, but like the name suggests, the blobfish looks soft and kind of squishy. Oh, but this is how it looks above the water. Here, let me show you what it looks like under the water. Looks more like a regular fish. That's because the weight of the water above it pushes on the blobfish so that it looks less squishy. In fact, the deeper you go in the ocean, the more pressure animals feel from the water above. Lizards are part of a group of animals called reptiles. They're cold-blooded, which means that they depend on the sun to warm them up. You might even find a lizard sunbathing in your backyard.
The biggest lizard in the whole entire world is the Komodo dragon. It can weigh up to 300 pounds. That's more than 2,000 oranges.
The smallest lizard is the nano chameleon. It lives in the rainforest of Madagascar. It's so small, it could fit on the tip of your finger.
Chameleons are a type of lizard that change color. When they're darker, they warm up. When they're lighter, they cool down.